Let me ask you a question that cuts to the core of why she's pulling away or why she's already gone. When was the last time she looked at you with that fire in her eyes, that intensity in her touch, that unshakable certainty that you were the only man who mattered? If it's been too long, listen closely. What I'm about to share isn't just advice. It's the raw, unfiltered truth about why women drift and how you can make her see you differently, starting now. Most men never recover once she starts slipping away. They beg, they plead, they shower her with attention, hoping kindness will reignite what's fading. That's exactly why they lose her for good. But there's another path, one that doesn't rely on games or manipulation, but on a profound shift in how she perceives you. A shift so powerful that she won't just return, she'll fear losing you forever. This isn't about empty pickup lines or shallow tricks. It's about awakening something primal, an attraction so deep it doesn't fade when another man enters the picture. It's rooted in how you carry yourself, how you command respect, and most importantly, how little you seem to need hers. If you're ready to stop being the man she overlooks and become the man she can't forget, stay with me. What comes next will change everything. Let's start with a truth so fundamental that most men get it disastrously wrong in relationships and in their own self-worth. If you want her to value you, to think about you, to worry about losing you, you must understand the psychology of absence. Here's the hard reality. Familiarity breeds indifference. Think about it. When was the last time you truly longed for something? It wasn't the air you breathe every day. You take that for granted. It wasn't the clothes you wear regularly. They're just there. No, you miss what's gone, even temporarily. The friend who moved away, the cafe that closed, the freedom you had before life's demands piled up. Absence creates longing. If you're always available, always waiting, always responding instantly, always orbiting her world, you become background noise. Predictable, forgettable. This isn't about playing games, it's about understanding human nature. Women, like all people, are drawn to what is scarce, what requires effort, what isn't easily obtained. If she knows you'll drop everything for her, she has no reason to pursue you. If she knows you'll answer her texts in seconds, she'll never wonder what you're doing. And if she never wonders, she never invests. So, what's the solution? Become a man consumed by something greater than her, not as a strategy, but as a way of life. A man immersed in his mission, his career, his growth, his passions, is magnetic by default. He doesn't need her attention. He commands it. When you're busy building something meaningful, you naturally become less available. Paradoxically, that's when she starts noticing you. This isn't manipulation, it's self-respect. If you cancel plans with friends every time she's free, what does that say about your priorities? If you're always initiating conversations, always trying to keep her interest, you've already lost. Desire isn't sustained through convenience. It's sustained through value, and value is perceived through scarcity. Ask yourself this tough question. If you disappeared for a week, would she notice? If the answer is no, you've made yourself too available. You've conditioned her to take you for granted. But if the answer is yes, if she'd reach out wondering where you are, then you've positioned yourself as a man who doesn't need her validation. That's the key. Women don't worry about men who are desperate. They worry about men who are disciplined, men who have boundaries, men who don't rearrange their lives for a woman's fleeting attention. Those are the men who could walk away. And that possibility, that uncertainty, is what keeps her engaged. So, are you filling your life with enough purpose that your absence would be felt? Or are you just another contact in her phone, always there, always waiting, always predictable? You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. Stop being so available, and watch how quickly she starts valuing your presence. Now go do something that matters. Let's confront something most men fear more than failure, rejection, or even loneliness. The idea of walking away. Here's the uncomfortable truth beneath every unfulfilling relationship, every unreturned effort, every moment spent waiting for her to see your worth. You get what you tolerate. This isn't about issuing ultimatums or engaging in petty power struggles. It's about a fundamental law of human psychology. People only invest in what they believe they could lose. When was the last time you truly appreciated something that could never disappear? Your health? Probably not until it wavered. Your time? Likely not until it ran out. That's the paradox of value. We recognize it most sharply in its absence. In relationships, if she believes, consciously or not, that you'll always be there no matter how she treats you, you've communicated that your presence has no cost. And when something has no cost, it's human nature to take it for granted. But the moment she senses you have standards that you're capable of leaving, everything changes. Suddenly, your attention isn't guaranteed. Your loyalty isn't a given. That uncertainty is where respect is born. This isn't manipulation. Manipulation is pretending you'll walk away when you know you won't. What I'm describing is deeper. The genuine willingness to lose her rather than lose yourself. A man who tolerates disrespect, indifference, or inconsistency isn't being kind, he's being weak. And weakness isn't attractive, it's pitiable. Why does the willingness to walk away carry such weight? Because it reveals two undeniable truths about you. First, you have options, not just with other women, but with your own life. You're not defined by her approval. Second, you enforce boundaries. You don't beg for the bare minimum. You expect reciprocity, or you leave. Men who struggle most in relationships are those who cling the hardest. Their desperation screams, "I need you more than you need me." Nothing kills attraction faster than that imbalance. Contrast this with the man who maintains his dignity, who knows his worth isn't tied to her whims. He doesn't threaten to leave, he simply could. That quiet confidence shifts the entire dynamic. This isn't about indifference, it's about self-respect. You can care deeply for someone while recognizing that your peace is non-negotiable. That's the hallmark of emotional maturity, the ability to love without losing yourself. How do you cultivate this mindset? Ask yourself one brutal question. If nothing changed, how long would I stay? If the answer is forever, you've surrendered your power. But if the answer is, until my standards are no longer met, you've done something revolutionary. You've made your presence a privilege, not a given. The most powerful position in any relationship is the ability to walk away and mean it. What are you pretending not to know about your own value? Let's cut to what separates men who command respect from those who beg for scraps. Emotional discipline. This isn't about suppressing your humanity, it's about understanding that every uncontrolled outburst, every needy text sent in a moment of weakness, every time you let her see you rattled, builds a wall of irrelevance around you. The world has sold men a dangerous lie. That vulnerability means emotional chaos. That feeling deeply requires wearing your instability like a badge. But here's the truth. Women don't fall for chaos. They fall for the man who can withstand it. Consider this biological reality. For millennia, women's survival depended on choosing men who could stay composed when others faltered. That primal wiring still exists. When she tests you with silence, flirts with others in your presence, or pushes to see your reaction, she's not playing games. She's asking, will this man crumble when life gets tough? Your emotional responses answer that question every day. Let's break down the anatomy of control. First, master the ability to delay reaction. When she says something provocative, ignores you, or tries to get under your skin, the man who reacts instantly has already lost. But the man who pauses, who lets the silence linger just a moment too long, demonstrates something more compelling than anger: choice. He shows his behavior isn't dictated by her whims. That's power. Second, refuse to seek validation through conflict. Most men can't resist the bait. She says something dismissive, they argue. She withholds affection, they plead. This is emotional begging, scraping for attention through drama. The disciplined man does something more unsettling. He walks away from the table entirely, not in a huff, not as punishment, but because he knows true validation comes from within, not from winning petty battles. Third, channel emotion into action. The average man feels slighted and sends a long emotional text. The exceptional man feels the same sting, but redirects it into his work, his fitness, his purpose. One weakens through expression, the other strengthens through focus. Guess which one she respects? Let's break down the anatomy of control. First, master the ability to delay reaction. When she says something provocative, ignores you, or tries to get under your skin, the man who reacts instantly has already lost. But the man who pauses, who lets the silence linger just a moment too long, demonstrates something more compelling than anger: choice. He shows his behavior isn't dictated by her whims. That's power. Second, refuse to seek validation through conflict. Most men can't resist the bait. She says something dismissive, they argue. She withholds affection, they plead. This is emotional begging, scraping for attention through drama. The disciplined man does something more unsettling. He walks away from the table entirely, not in a huff, not as punishment, but because he knows true validation comes from within, not from winning petty battles. Third, channel emotion into action. The average man feels slighted and sends a long emotional text. The exceptional man feels the same sting, but redirects it into his work, his fitness, his purpose. One weakens through expression, the other strengthens through focus. Guess which one she respects? This isn't about becoming cold or inhuman. It's about recognizing that every emotional reaction either builds or erodes your value. When she sees you unshaken by her tests, unmoved by attempts to provoke you, anchored in your purpose, something powerful happens. She starts wondering if she's the one at risk of losing you. The irony is stark. Men who desperately seek reassurance rarely get it, while those who seem indifferent to it are surrounded by it. This isn't chance. It's human nature. Here's your test. The next time she pushes, the next time she's distant, the next time your instincts urge you to react, ask yourself, will this make her respect me more or less? That moment of pause will do more for your relationships than years of advice. Emotional control isn't about hiding your feelings. It's about proving they don't control you. That proof is the most attractive quality a man can show. Now, what reaction have you been allowing that's been costing you respect all along?